up and
very overrated.
Yo, what's up, people? Welcome to the pilot episode of Biased Bruddas, and we have the brothers in the house. What's going on, fellas?
what's up to
Great day at Champions League, you know? Well, it was a good day at Champions League, and I know no other place to start than Atleti and Liverpool.
See the reps out, yeah.
That is indeed a very good place to start.
What do you think about the game?
Let the home team go first.
I thought it was a good game. I sit back. Heart was in my mouth plenty time, but you know, a good performance from the boys. It reminds me of the early days in Simeone taking over the club. And yeah, I mean, it was a very good performance. And I think if we could do that in the second leg, we actually have a decent chance of going through. But Liverpool played a good game. Didn't create a single chance to my notes, which was good from Atletico perspective. But yeah, it was a good game, man. Very happy about that.
Jomo,
For my opinion, it was a great game by Atletico. I'll be honest, when I saw the tie, I didn't want Atletico based on their football style. If you look at the games with Real Madrid, you look at the games with Barcelona, they tend to nullify very attacking teams, and their counter-attacking football is their style. I prefer a game with, let's say, a more attacking team that blows for blows. You know, Atletico not coming to play blow for blow football. It's more like what we see today. Two banks of four, very close. They limit the work for the movement of Firmino by having the two banks of four very close. So I think today was basically Atletico's game plan going in their favour. I think in our sense, we had chances that we should have made more from. I think Salah had a chance where he headed wide. I think Salah had a chance where he took a poor touch, he went to Firmino in an offside position. So all things considered, I think a 1-0 scoreline is definitely something if we had to do, no one wants to lose, but you have to lose. I'll take a 1-0 scoreline going back to Anfield where we know magic happens.
yeah, we with Klopp taking off money at half time.
Well, we all know Mane was coming back from a bit of a injury. Yeah, he was injured, and I think this is his first start since then. Yes, it was a tough atmosphere. It's still the first leg, so we definitely have something to work forward in the second leg. So I think that definitely I was okay with it. I don't find, normally his substitutions are a bit more on point. That's my only thing. I don't think Divock Origi had a particularly good game. I think sometimes he had the ball a bit too long. The outside left position wasn't really favouring him. So
And he took off Salah too, which I didn't understand.
I didn't understand it either, because I think Salah was in the midst of the action, but people knew. I think that was to put Divock into the centre and put Oxlade wide. So it wasn't supposed, it was more like a change in formation and personnel rather than.
To me, that makes sense.
I understood the Mane substitution, because if you realize in the first half they was targeting Mane because of the fouling. He had about three fouls and he just got a yellow card. And you know, that was probably one of the reasons. It was a tactical decision more than a performance thing, because we know he could play.
he did say in the post-match interview that he did take him off because he was being targeted. And already with picking up that yellow card, I mean, he didn't want to risk it. And you could tell from the substitutions he made that he was just kind of accepted, stay at 1-0, maybe try to score, but kind of stay at that 1-0 scoreline. Because going into Anfield, I believe 1-0 shouldn't be hard to really overcome.
I mean, I think in Liverpool at home, I wouldn't go further in the Champions League only because it might distract the unbeaten Ronaldo. That's the only reason.
I know I'm probably the only person on this panel here that thinks that Liverpool going out. I think that Atletico will do enough in the second leg.
I mean, it did surprise me, seeing that Liverpool was so conservative in their approach, because last year in the Premier League they were very conservative, and look at what Man City did. Man City came back and reduced the points deficit to end up winning the league. So I didn't think they would have been so conservative. I thought they would have gone after it from the get-go, but no club like he had a different plan. So all to play for in the second leg.
I'll be honest and say we were a bit conservative. I did think we started slow, and the reason I thought was that Simeone kind of caught Klopp with the whole Atletico aggressive style. Normally, if you watch the Barcelona Real Madrid games, the first 20 minutes, Atletico sits off, let you have the ball, they get comfortable, and then it's pretty counter-attack. I found that the start of this game was an instant 10 minutes of utmost pressure from Atletico. Tigers didn't let us settle on the ball, didn't let the midfielders come into the game, so I guess it worked in their favour.
Reminded me of the start of the 2016 Champions League final. Actually, what they did against Madrid, they started the same way. They started the game fast because they knew in order to beat a team that attacks and that presses, like how Liverpool does and 2016 Madrid does, you need to start early, punch them first, and just see if you can sit back, because Atletico is the best in the world at sitting back and defending the league. So I guess that's what they did with Liverpool. Liverpool, in my opinion, was a little bit naive in the way that Klopp set them out and the way that they came out, because you can't go to the Wanda and hope to really push Atletico, especially early on. You can't expect to go there and push them.
Why?
What you mean why?
Why?
Because every team that, especially in the Champions League, every team that goes to Atletico and push them early in the Wanda, Atletico, it's kind of like a trampoline. They take that force and then they fling it back at you, and then they neutralize you for the entire game. And that's kind of what they did.
They'll be afraid to attack him about
No, but I think I agree with what you're saying with regards to the Wanda and the whole Atletico front, but I think that if I am a coach and I'm setting up my team at Atletico, I believe I want them to have an attacking first 20 minutes. Reason being, the longer Atletico keeps the opponent scoreless, I believe the more confident they become in their own ability. So if we go after them in the first 20 minutes and we try to get on the score sheet, I think that normally breaks the resistance. So I believe it was and normally as even in the Champions League final 2014, they were good up to the Sergio Ramos era. And then after the Sergio Ramos era, it was like the floodgate just opened. So unlucky by Klopp, I think next 3 weeks.
I still think Liverpool can correct that.
Yeah. If I, again, you never
But
want to
also,
lose.
football, anything happens.
Yeah, but if we had to take a loss, I think that we are 1-0. But at the same time, Atletico having a 1-0 advantage without our away goal conceded is still finally balanced.
Yeah, that's a result.
Yeah, it's a good result for them. No away goals. I really wanted away goal.
Yeah, that's a big factor. For sure.
Now, well, if you guys wondering why we have 5 and not 6, Juki couldn't make it, so Juki will be here next episode. Then we move on to Dortmund PSG. Haaland is mad. Haaland is a mad man.
I still hoping he's not a one-season
Haaland
wonder.
have 39 goals this season in all
Yeah.
competitions. He mad. He crazy.
Definitely
We've seen
a
it before when
talent.
he likes Messi or Ronaldo, but I think at his age is definitely something special.
And especially the transition from the Austrian league to a league like the Bundesliga, like that's really impressive. 10 goals in 7 games. Like his first 5 games was what? He come off the bench and he had a goal every 12 minutes at one point in time. So
His hat trick, I think, definitely made me like. Anybody. I don't want to disrespect the Austrian league, but I wouldn't say it's a.
You're not competitive.
Yeah, I would
not
competitive
competitive in comparison to the
Bundesliga.
Bundesliga.
Goal ratio they use in the English, Spanish, German is 2. The goal rating is 2. I think Austria is either 1 or 1.5. So the goals, in terms of the multiplying factor to see how much the goals stack up, I don't think it's as high. But for him going to probably Dortmund, which is a big test, and having those kind of performances, definitely. I think he's doing well. I saw the goal. I didn't see much of the Atletico game. The Dortmund game, for obvious reasons. So, but
I was watching both at the same time.
I was too preoccupied. But Haaland is definitely something to behold. I don't know if anybody knows that his father actually used to play the game too.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was so seamless about the transition was that he went from Austria to Dortmund, 2 totally different leagues, and then you end up winning Bundesliga Player of the Season, playing what I think is 55 minutes last month.
Yeah.
So to do something like that,
Player
Player of the Month.
Player of the month.
Bundesliga Player of the Month.
Still very impressive.
Definitely.
And now he
He
and
won the Player of the
Mbappe.
month.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So now he and Mbappe are the 2 only teenagers to reach 10 goals in the Champions League, but of course he's the fastest one to do it.
He likes scoring.
And he's the first ever player to score for 2 teams in Champions League.
Oh, with the rule change.
I still don't know about the rule change. I think it could be exploited. especially if let's say one player playing for a club gets knocked out in the group stage and he decides that he wants to switch clubs, jump ship mid-season.
Well, can't really change the side. It's the next team to buy him.
Yeah.
So, and more than like if your side went out in the group stages, you kind of
Yeah, but I
already
mean-
in a top team.
Think about Barca's position right now. I mean, with them trying to push for a player in the league, yeah, just imagine. Barca is a kind of real slimy team to do that in the January transfer window. Be like, oh look at let's say Man City knocked out and Aguero wanted to play. They'll be like, oh look, we could bring him in for the knockout stages.
Look at
Yeah.
and Lacazette.
Exactly.
Okay, but that is a very good point. I believe brought up that he is the first player to score for 2 different clubs in Champions League
Yeah.
since the rule change, and I appreciate the rule change because I remember my favorite all-time player, Brazilian Ronaldo, in 2007, was denied the right to win the Champions League with AC Milan because of the rule where he was at Madrid. He played for them in Champions League, and then he could only support. So I mean, it's kind of like if you're buying a car, you get the whole car. You don't lose the team. So I think it's only fair that you get the
I
play.
remember even when we did first buy Aubameyang, he did play in Europa League with Dortmund.
Right.
Yeah, we had to do the whole season.
How far you all reach in that competition? Didn't it wasn't?
I want to say when we speak Arsenal, we speak in positive things.
Yeah.
It's a team with positive thoughts right now, right? We recently turned we goal difference to positive.
Really?
Top half
Yeah,
of
that
the
Newcastle
table,
game put on for the
right? It's all positivity right now. It's all positivity.
But that year, what all about me? How far? Because I remember Lacazette being the only striker. You all could have played in that set.
That was his semis, eh?
I think it was
Yeah.
the semis.
That's how I get knocked out from Atletico.
Yeah. It was a
That
went on to win it, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
We had to play Laka. It was
Was that
was Wenger last season.
Yeah,
Aubameyang
he
first
was doing
season.
well. I think he was.
Yeah, we was doing well.
Yeah,
but
against Lacazette.
but it have the debate where these Champions League teams shouldn't be dropping down into the Europa League, which is kind of mess it up, I think. Because Atletico did drop down from the Champions League, and then they went on to win the Europa League. You
I
understand?
think it's to get
They have no reason being in that business, in that competition. If you get knocked out, you get knocked out. It's
Yeah.
like they have like a field safe kind of thing.
Yeah, but the European League needs viewership. It needs it.
Yeah. And I think that's it. I think
I
that's
don't
it.
know.
It needs it.
I hope Arsenal not contributed. We need to go back to the Champions League.
Can you already European League?
Yeah.
Well, you watching it every week, so you contributing to
I
it.
need to stop doing that. We need to stop. We need to stop. That's what I'm saying. We need to stop. Bring attention to that competition. Right?
Now back to the Dortmund game though. I find Neymar a bit game.
Okay.
Neymar, like,
He bias.
no, he revamped.
No pun
He
intended.
whole playing style.
Okay.
Like Neymar is not the one-man team anymore. Neymar is a team player now. I've seen Neymar playing deep. He dropping deep and distributing ball. Like he play like Rooney and play like Messi.
he play more, he taking more of a number 10 role
Yeah,
than the number 7.
not even number
wing,
10.
you
He
know?
playing like a number 6.
Yeah.
He dropping in defensive midfield.
He playing the passes between the lines, you know.
Because I think he finally accepts PSG as his home right now, and he kind of realized that he
Excellent.
he kind of has to become a team player for PSG. He's a senior member, being how old, 28 now, and people kind of expect him to grow up.
Grow up at 28. I think the ship sailed with he long.
Nah,
time,
people
man.
expect him to grow up
He's
and-
very overrated.
I think we might need to change it.
What he do so like to compare him? People used to say he was to like Messi.
He is.
No, he is.
He is.
He is.
What he do
He's
so?
a mercurial talent.
No,
He
He's
is-
unmarkable. He's
All these players who say talent is not enough. He have a bad attitude.
that's relative. That's he's
No,
won a lot. He has
no,
won a lot. He has won the Copa America. He has won the Champions League. He has also won the Olympics in Brazil, a redemption against Germany.
A World Cup semi.
Oh gosh, that
He was in the World Cup
was-
semi.
Did he have
Well, he
100
reached
appearances for Brazil as well?
Yeah.
You think
He reached
Neymar?
World Cup.
Yeah.
Neymar is a kind of.
I know why you say he's overrated, right?
Why
Because
else he went PSG? The man just like money.
He didn't. He
Not
needed to
money.
lead that team. He needed to lead that team.
Yeah.
He was never going to win the Ballon d'Or behind Messi in Barcelona. Every great Brazilian player won the Ballon d'Or. Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, Kaká.
You still
Neymar is the
believe-
next great hope to win it, and he has to lead that team.
You think Modric come and break the streak quicker than he?
Yeah, but Modric.
I mean, he is
No,
so
because
if we
overrated.
bring up
I understand why you're
That was a
overrated,
base of
yeah.
performance.
No,
though.
That was
but-
a- That was based
It was
on when
between two
he
players for how many years?
No.
right?
Right?
And Modric
Neymar
was also
was
not in the
one.
top 50 next year.
Neymar was saying, everybody was saying Neymar was the guy to like stop that now.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And he still didn't do it.
No,
You
no,
see
no.
he winning a Ballon
No, no,
d'Or
no.
in the next couple of years.
Yes.
I'm just going to stop
Yes.
you and say that the only reason Modric won was because Ronaldo left Madrid. Now, I'm going to make it known the only reason that Modric won that
Yeah.
was because Ronaldo left
For the
Madrid.
continuity.
And that was a political statement to Ronaldo.
No, we should really
No
stop
way.
that. Like every time you mention Ronaldo,
No way.
you take a dodge.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's be fair. Modric reached the
But he
World Cup
was
final that year.
he was not bad.
And
Imagine.
And he was Champions League.
Iniesta should have done it.
He had
But Ronaldo won.
And he
Ronaldo
won the
also won
league there.
Champions League
You nearly died.
in 2018.
No.
No.
Okay.
Now
Ronaldo
Ronaldo
league
also
now,
won
why?
Champions League. Ronaldo was the top goal scorer by far.
Okay.
Ronaldo had a good World Cup bar from
Let me
the
talk
Uruguay
about
game.
Neymar.
Somehow.
Neymar, I think Neymar is a mercurial talent, and he's a great talent in terms of you can't. If you set up a team with the Lucas Moras, with the, let's say, the Douglas Costas, you need somebody like Neymar to break the fold, because a team with a structure, two banks of four, could mark for running behind, they could mark spaces. What they can't mark is Neymar taking out the ball, beating two men, bringing a mark, losing a mark, playing the ball into space. And I think that you're saying that he hasn't broken it up between Messi and Ronaldo. Main reason for me is because he's been on very unfortunate with injuries. For the last 3 seasons, he's broken the metatarsal in his foot. I think that also contributes.
That's his own fault.
Yeah.
To be
And
honest.
plus, it's
You can't
hard.
control being injured, Randy.
No, it's real hard.
You grow as a
You
footballer.
cannot control being injured, Randy.
It had to
Yes,
be. It
but as
had
a
to be.
footballer, right?
It had to be.
Look at the way he display. He's invite challenges into the way how he display. So it's a mature game.
What?
He like to showboat and things.
Randy,
But that's
if he's a
Players must want to
He is
tackle him.
actually-
Mane does invite challenges, Salah does invite
Hazard.
challenges, Hazard does invite challenges,
Ronaldo
Yeah, but them
invite
Suarez,
challenges always
Messi,
But most of the
Ronaldo.
time, them things result in end product. Before, right, plenty of Neymar stuff didn't have no end product. When he used to do
Was
this
that-
showboating,
It was-
his movement,
No,
his
no,
movement
no,
had
Randy.
the end product.
No.
Right.
You watch him play in Barca?
You do you watch it?
He-
Yeah, they won.
He was
Mhm.
unbelievable in Barca. In
What
my
is-
opinion, when he
At
was with Barca,
injuries, mostly.
when he was with Barca, he was the best
You
player
can't
at
count that
Barca.
one,
You
because
can't
you playing against the former team, he would kind of change the game for that. You
The thing
understand?
about Neymar,
He's talking about the Barca one.
no, he's kind of similar to Ronaldinho in the sense that both of them are kind of too talented for their own good, to the point where they don't really take football as serious as they should.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Ronaldinho
So you
still
can't
playing
say
Barca.
he's overrated.
Can't say who.
No, not that. It was impossible for Neymar to win Ballon d'Or with Messi and Ronaldo in the picture.
But we also need
Yeah.
to just honorably mention that Ronaldinho didn't have a ceiling. So whereas I think
That is true.
I think that Messi and Ronaldo had each
Okay.
other and they
Yeah.
pushed each other.
Yeah.
I think Ronaldinho at his time was the undisputed
I can
best
understand
player
that.
at the time. So he
Yeah.
kinda I win it twice, what else is there to do?
Exactly.
Whereas Messi know if I win it this year, I need to keep winning it because the year slip Ronaldo could catch me.
And then on top of that, Dino, he kind of won everything to including a World Cup. So there was
Won
nothing left for
everything, I
him.
think.
There's nothing left for him.
Proven
to
in
win.
like what, 3 leagues? He
Yeah,
won
exactly.
French league, Serie A, La Liga.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to win the Ballon d'Or anytime.
I think I can understand why you say Neymar is overrated, because he has achieved a lot in his career, but it's always had a factor like, you know, it have more stuff for him to achieve that he still has not.
I
Like,
thought his
Here,
potential
he
was
reached
way
his
bigger
full
than that.
potential as yet, I
Yeah,
think.
for
I think he
sure.
can still win more.
He's
Because,
28. When
At
you said that, I was
PSG,
shocked
he
to
could-
even think he's really 28. He's like winning
Yeah.
50 just now.
At
Because
PSG,
coming now and decline right
his
now.
prime
way.
just now.
unless
No way.
no, the thing players like Neymar, they don't really decline. They might lose a little pace or anything, but they will still always be
Right.
good players. The thing is, unless PSG wins a Champions League, I think the ship kind of sailed for Neymar in the sense I don't think he will win a Ballon d'Or unless PSG wins a Champions League.
I think
Which is unfortunate. He would be probably the best player to never win a Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, because he's had unbelievable seasons in France. Like his stats will show it, but
Could I say that
in the French league,
Neymar
too.
got injured in February 1 year in the French league, and I think he was the best. I could be wrong. Somebody correct me if I am, but I think he got the best player of the season in France, and got injured in February.
When is that last year?
that says a
That-
lot
I think
about the
that
league. Eh?
season They
Any
played,
comments?
they played either Man U or I think it was Madrid. He played the first leg and he was injured for the second leg.
That's Real Madrid.
Injured.
Right.
Because second leg was on his birthday. And he was
No. He actually had a metatarsal. He got damaged in that game and then he got a metatarsal.
That's Real Madrid, yeah.
Real Madrid.
It's either his birthday or his sister's birthday, he always injured. Somehow.
Attitude again.
Brazil-
Attitude.
If we had
They like the party.
Look at the culture.
That the Brazilian culture,
Look
but
at the culture.
All of them like the party. Even
Ronaldo, Neymar is
Adriano, I think it is true. He will correct because he like the
Ronaldo.
nah,
party.
his one was
His one was
different.
different.
He went through mint. He father died and that was the end and he did.
That's the end of
but
it.
He going through there, yeah.
I think Deco and Dino got sold because they were partying too much.
Yeah,
They turned up
they like
late
the
to training, you
party.
know.
They really love
Yeah,
the
so,
party. They
anyway.
love that samba.
But we had enough for Neymar.
Yeah.
They talk about
Ronaldo.
worst game. Well, the second worst game in football history. Chelsea and United.
Oh, brilliant. Absolute brilliant.
That for me, that under Chelsea Barca 2009.
Which is also under Liverpool Tottenham Champions League final.
I mean, it was an absolute shambles of a refereeing display.
Now
can
that
be
was
said.
the worst thing ever though.
Yeah.
I mean, so I don't know if anyone brought it up. But
Not like we have any referees here, you know?
No, we have three.
That's true,
We have three aspiring referees here. So I think did anybody go first? But what you all thought about refereeing that?
Absolutely.
No support.
So we go. There we go. So
Yeah.
so they're both Chelsea and Man U.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah,
They were Premier League side, but
Okay.
They have Man U.
Oh yeah, attack him.
Yeah.
Game.
That two side thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. But anyway,
let's say Premier League. Let's say Premier League.
the men without a stance in it. So like these two guys on either side of me. What you all thought about the incident with Harry Maguire, and then we get probably the other guys just as they bias. Because I'm sure Scarlett's gonna say it's a red card,
Yeah,
and I'm sure Randy gonna say, well, you know. So before we get the bias point of view, so what you all thought about it, right?
I thought it was a fantastic game of football. I had. No, to be honest, it was a classic United game against any sort of top 4 team.
Correct.
Correct. Just dirty, they dug in, they took whatever chances that they had, and of course with United,
With the help of the ref.
I believe, yeah, I don't know what it is with United, it's just the name United, but I believe referees, I don't say treat them better because I don't think the referee goes into the game with the intention to say, alright, I go overlook a couple of things. But
You know, we are referees, right? You know, like,
I'm listening, yeah.
if I went naps, I wouldn't be allowed to do a naps game.
Okay.
So why are referees born and grown in Manchester doing Manchester games?
Are you from Manchester?
Yes, the whole refereeing team was from Manchester.
The
Well,
whole refereeing team was from
Yes.
Manchester.
yeah, and they do not check.
I need to see
And
some
we don't
evidence
want
of
to
that.
What's his name, Adi?
Something.
Anthony Taylor.
I think he's actually from Manchester.
Yeah, he is Manchester. And the VAR, Kevin Friend, is from Manchester.
I think
But I
Let's
mean, you
say
can't
we
bring
look
people
past-
from London, so
let's say we look past the.
Just hold the L now, gosh.
No, I mean I have no weighting in the Man Chelsea thing, and I think the referee decision was shambolic. Because let's say the referee,
Was that right?
the on-field referee missed it. No way someone with the benefits of slow motion seen that knee-jerk reaction and the intent
But
from
thing
Harry
is,
Maguire.
Son gets an for the same thing. So that lack of consistency.
Son with Andre Gomez.
Son with Rudiger when we play Tottenham.
That's correct. That's correct. That's correct. I think it was also a red card for Maguire. Do I dare throw in that Maguire is English and he's a
Oh,
good guy?
True.
I just throwing that over there.
But the Willian dive. Was it a dive?
yeah, it was. Well, I mean, it
There
wasn't
was
a
contact.
penalty. It wasn't a penalty.
It was not penalty.
You
But it was
very
not
biased
dive.
there.
No, it wasn't penalty. But it was not dive.
But I mean, you're going to not call penalty and then not book him after.
Yeah,
It was somewhat simulation. He made the most of it. He milked it.
it's not dive. And thirdly,
Okay. Oh, that's a
thirdly,
tricky one, boy.
thirdly, Zuma goal. Fred pushed Aspi into Williams, and Aspi just carried on,
Aye,
and the goal got disallowed.
VAR goes to what, the immediate play before? So the last thing I guess they saw was Aspi pushing him.
No,
Nobody can just take the push ass.
yeah,
I don't know.
that
There's no excuses for that game. I'm just kind of picking at shows here.
They
I think-
just take the L now.
I cannot
They
take that
the L.
I
Take
think
the L.
the VAR
Yeah, the usage
did
of
not
VAR
like,
in
even if
England
like, I think
is
they just normally explain the decision. I don't think there's any kind of explanation to the
in
decision.
Premier,
So in the Premier League. So I think
Because VAR is
Yeah.
better anywhere else.
That's so
Serie
true.
A, La Liga,
Yeah.
at FIFA level, better anywhere else. Premier League just messing it up.
I think the Premier League referees are not banned from going to the touchline to look
They're
at
not,
the
they're
monitor.
not banned, but they're
Well,
only allowed to review red card decisions on the monitor.
but
red
they-
card
but they
decision.
didn't.
But that's the
Yeah.
whole point of
But that wasn't a possible red card decision.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he didn't go and review
it was a kick out.
He didn't go and review it himself.
He didn't.
So that will have me baffled.
But
They say he was like 5 yards from the monitor.
so why not
And he
go?
still didn't.
Yeah, exactly. So why not go and check it anymore?
That why he wouldn't.
Because he's from Manchester.
Um,
According to David Conspiracy.
No, he is from Manchester. You must you know?
We don't.
Anthony Taylor.
Okay.
He could be from the city half. We don't know.
Yeah, you know,
So your point where you're
could- he
saying
could be a
that,
Point could from the city half. He could hate. He could actually hate United.
Exactly.
Not.
Manchester
But that's
City.
a weird appointment for. That's a weird
was saying.
appointment for Man.
For a game like
Man
that.
Chelsea game. boy.
Yeah, what I'm saying.
Probably don't really consider Man and Chelsea big teams.
He probably flip flop after he find out about the ban.
And after the game, you know, Giroud goal was ruled out for offside.
Yeah.
Right.
After the game, well, the angle
Correctly
they had
so.
it, right, you would say correctly so in the game, but the angle they had it at the moment they paused it. They didn't pause it at the right moment. They didn't pause it at the moment the ball was played. And Giroud was at 2 offside. But after the game, when you look back, I think it was Sky or NBC or one of them, they had the footage, the VAR footage, and they paused the game at the exact moment the ball was played, and Giroud was onside.
He fighting us down to the
These
end.
things-
No, I'm telling you.
Yeah, but with a referee on the field and these decisions are made, I think we could all say, oh, it's Scarlett, we're kind of killing us now. But with someone who has the benefit of replays, so I think somebody have a legitimate issue.
No, but why
And
is he not?
No, I
The
believe.
point of stopping the game and bringing in VAR
Right.
was to make the right decision. So if the wrong decision is still being made, and
What's the point?
what's the
Right.
point?
No,
What's the
VAR-
game for?
And it's only the Premier League too, eh? That just says a lot about the referee
Well, you see,
in
it's a
England.
league because Milan had a
It's probably inconsistent at best.
Milan, Juve get a thief penalty.
That was. I don't understand how you call another thief penalty.
You see it, right?
It's the
Yes.
90th minute. Ronaldo was about to say a spectacular kick. Spectacular scissors kick.
Yeah. What a kick, he fell down on
The
himself.
the defender took the risk knowing full well that if he missed this
What
ball,
risk?
if he jump and
The
miss
defender
this
hands by
ball,
his side.
if he jump and miss this
So
ball,
if you jump, it's not
no.
natural for you to have your hand here.
No,
with your hand.
natural
The thing
to jump
is-
like this, I
The
think.
thing is, he took the risk knowing that if he jumps and he missed this ball, he has no control over his body. So
What's
he
the
jumped
argument
and
for
he
that
did miss the
penalty?
ball. And Ronaldo hit and Ronaldo pinged the ball off his hand. I mean, you stop a clear goal scoring
No, but
opportunity
his
there.
hand was at his side. He
No,
had
his hand was.
extended.
It wasn't.
It was out, but
It
it
was
was
out.
from a landing position.
Yeah, landing position.
So is that natural position?
No, but I mean,
Ah.
all right. So I need to educate the referees here on.
I know we're watching them having a debate on this decision.
I need to educate the refs here because apparently none of you all know that Syria at the start of the season they decided to clamp down on the use of hands in the incident where the ball hits the player's hand. More than likely, it will be given whether it's a penalty or a free kick, and it has been consistent throughout the season.
So Syria, I just going to change the FIFA law, so we going to change this.
Oh, they're not changing anything, you know. Remember, the refereeing at the end of the day, it's for the most part subjective, right? And if the league as a whole decided that they want to clamp down on handball and they want to become a little bit more serious concerning that, it's up to them, and I give them credit for doing it consistently because De Ligt, when he just came into Juve too, he suffered a lot of fouls because of the handball. He got a lot of yellow cards and stuff too because of that. And I believe he gave away a couple penalties because of that. And you would think that, how would you call this? But I mean, you see it consistently over the season that the referees were giving it.
So back to Stamford Bridge.
So
Back to Stamford Bridge.
Not to Stamford Bridge.
now VAR, I believe VAR just needs a little bit more accountability because I find they're so detached
No, you see,
and nobody holds them accountable for things
I
like
think they
this.
should
one.
explain the decision.
When a company,
At least.
Yeah, at least.
when a company making a new game,
We just left.
they have a beta version, right? They have a beta trial version, so to speak. Premier League should have the same things. And have a beta version of VAR in FA Cup and Carabao Cup and leave it out of Premier League.
Do you think VAR officials should be ex-referees, ex-officials.
But they are.
They
Yeah.
are. They are.
Yes.
Are they?
They're actual referees.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really?
Kevin
Yeah.
Fred is an actual referee.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Yes.
Jeez, what are they doing?
Kevin Fred is an actual referee.
They are referees.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
are
I think so,
referees.
you
Like
know.
the fourth official.
Yeah.
Except you just.
They are.
Yeah.
They are referees.
You're in a
think
TV
so, you know.
room watching.
But that is the thing.
But tough
Why is a
decisions.
man 5 miles away making a decision for me? What is the thing we just learn when we now start refereeing? Assistants are there to assist,
yeah.
not insist.
Yeah.
Right?
So why is a man 5 miles away insisting in my ear, this is a red card, this is not a red card, this is this. When I could go and view it myself and
I
make
think
decisions.
yeah, and I think the consultation should be there as to the decision made. So that's why, like, even in the World Cup, even in the Champions League, where the referee takes a look, they come to a consensus and decision is made instead of saying something in the ears. Because I think it was let me be correct, the Spurs Man City game, I believe. The Spurs, no, the chance with Aguero, no, that was Aurier going in on Aguero in the box. They played for like 5 minutes, and then the referee gets a message in his earpiece and calls a penalty. And like 5
And he
minutes.
was
down
waiting
the
for the
road.
ball to go out of play, and the ball didn't go out of play.
Yeah, but what if Spurs had won the ball and scored? Do you now go back and give a
Yes.
penalty?
Yeah,
Yes.
you go back.
It's
I guess they just need more liberty because again,
Yeah.
in the other leagues, the referee has the liberty to go to the monitor whenever he chooses
Yeah.
to. And some people in the World Cup, people said that he was kind of abusing it because every game they go into the monitor and you feel as if Vieira was the one running the show. But then you have on the flip side of that in England where they very rarely go. They discourage to go unless it's a red card call. And I believe that's kind of what is hampering England. Because the rest of the leagues, I find the kind of glitches in the system with the other league concerning the calls, but in England I find it's really ridiculous. In Italy I find the use of VAR has been pretty much spot on this season.
Everywhere else besides Britain.
so just for a consensus from the panel in terms of you're playing a game. Do you prefer the referee to be checking the VAR screen or not checking it? Which one do you prefer?
Check it.
Check it.
Check it.
Yeah, I think we all prefer checking
Right.
Get it
because at
right.
the end of the game, yeah, make the right decision.
Get it right.
I play added on time if necessary.
Yeah.
That's
So
what it's there for.
it's not point of getting it right, because the VAR could get it right too. But I want his.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I want his
yeah,
opinion.
yeah.
Well, guys, I think we ran out of time. So it was nice.
Yeah.
It was nice. It was nice. First episode of Biased Bruddas.
But I mean I didn't get my Ronaldo
No,
segment.
we don't need that.
I don't know one.
No.
They could record that whole man and we are returning
I
it.
still want my Ronaldo segment, you know.
Well,
Real quick, any credits?
Now, in case anybody didn't realize, we had a whole like pre-game segment on Ronaldo where everybody was just sharing their thoughts on Ronaldo.
Well, we should have that recorded.
But that's what I was saying. I was saying roll the cameras. There was a nice little warm up. Everybody got their voices and they had the blood racing and TikTok.
The next episode will be all yours, right?
Ronaldo.
No, me and Chris, because Chris apparently want Ronaldo to sign for Arsenal. I don't know what you all think about that, but
But yeah, guys, it was nice. It was nice. It was nice.
We should
So,
have had some discussion.
Once it's positive.
Positive.
Oh, like the goal in the
team
front.
Arsenal right now.
Like the goal in the
No
front.
negative comments, no negativity.
I think the Newcastle game was probably one of the best games.
I find you going off on
No,
it.
I'll be honest. I watched the game and I totally enjoyed the game. I was
It
happy
was.
to see Lacazette break the little duck he was having.
Positive.
I like him as a striker.
You know, I'm going to cut out this part and everything.
I like Arsenal.
Positivity,
I like
David.
the attacking players they have. The Lacazette, the Aubameyang.
You know, it's going to
the
be
Pepes.
video, right? I'm going to cut it out.
Don't agree.
But anyway, guys, it was nice. Like and comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time
You.
on Biased Bruddas.